This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and meat creature, Stairmaster.
Hey, death is just a doorway. I think. Is that what they were trying to tell us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. With us, as always, is our other co-host and little man who's president.
Hey, what's going on? I'm real nonchalant about this apocalypse going on.
Yeah, you're sort of just hanging out.
Yeah.
Shooting the breeze and zombies.
Just chatting, shooting guns, whatever.
Yes. Welcome to this fine edition of TV Tuners. Today we have with us, it's a momentous occasion.
Yes.
After 86 episodes on the air, we finally have a female on the podcast. We're breaking down the barriers. They said it couldn't be done. They said females couldn't be on podcasts. We're doing it.
Yeah, they said their sounds wouldn't pick up because they were so high pitched.
That's right.
But
For the longest time, they used to say, "Are females real?"
No.
And today we determined that yes, they are.
What?
We found one.
No way.
We're like vampires. We go unheard, except in the most conspicuous of times, like on podcasts.
That's right.
And they don't show up in mirrors.
The voice you're hearing is our co-host now.
Ooh,
watch out, one of you.
Slip. Now, give me the contract. I want this in writing.
Hey, the contract's in this briefcase at the top of the...
At the end of this episode, one of you will be dead and Elle will be the new co-host. This is Elle, our new co-host.
I didn't agree to a death match.
I guess we gotta wrestle for the contract at the top of the rope thing. You know, wrestling. Fuck.
Yeah, that's right. You got it. This is our guest and dog
expert.
With a teleportation belly.
Yeah, let me look at that tummy. Let me gaze into its mysteries.
Only a certain select few get to gaze upon this tummy.
Yeah. Welcome to the pod. It's great to have you
Thank
here.
You.
How does it
here.
feel to be breaking tradition?
It feels, quite frankly, amazing. I did a tweet about this about 2 years ago, where I said, unfortunately, if anybody asked me to be on their podcast, I would immediately agree.
Oh.
And I'm so happy to realize this dream after like 2+ years.
How does it feel to finally be allowed to speak?
Pretty good, actually, because I have a lot of hyperfixations and I like to ramble, and I'm also addicted to stimulants, so this helps.
That's crazy, but have you tried DXM?
Unfortunately, no.
That'll come up later in this podcast.
As for me, I've got a real problem. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with this, but I've got a real serious addiction to water.
Oh yeah, I'm a freaking waterhead, dude. I'm freaking.
Sometimes it feels like I'm made up of like 70% water.
I feel like I can't live without it.
It's
but if
crazy.
I get too much of it, I die.
If I go like one day without water, it's like I'm dying. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
But when you drink it, you gotta pee, and that just harshes my mellow.
Peeing harshes your mellow?
No, having to get up. I don't like having things dictate what I need to do.
I mean, I was going to be concerned if you said that, because they always say if it's yellow, let it mellow.
That's true, but if you drink water, it won't be yellow.
Oh, it's true. They never... What do they say if it's clear? If it's clear, get out of here.
Holy shit, get out of here, we're all fucking dead!
It's gonna blow!
I think the problem with that saying is that there's this dichotomy, like, if it's yellow, let it mellow, if it's brown, flush it down, but, like, they never talk about what to do if you are an actual responsible human being who hydrates. And I think this addition that Swanson has made is very welcome.
Can girls
if
pee?
it's clear, get out of here.
No, but I know of peeing.
Oh, okay.
Like, I've been around
You've
people
read
who
the
have
scrolls. You've been around
the
them?
sacred texts.
Page turners, they were not.
Little nerd reference for you guys, for you Star Wars heads out there.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody listening. This is if you're a fan of the show, I hope you still are. If you were a fan, if you weren't a fan before, obviously you clearly are now.
Apologies to all of our misogynist listeners.
Yes.
Which is
we have a lot of
everyone
red
who's friends
pill
with L's on Twitter.
We have a lot of red pill listeners who are very angry.
We're gonna
right
get
now.
a really mad email from Red Pillington.
Red
I think
Pillington.
I think the problem is a lot of the listeners are going to be mad because Elle has shown up with no training montage and it seems to be very skilled.
Yeah, when did you learn what comedy is?
It was 1993.
The year I was born.
It was a hot February night in Minnesota, and out I came, and that's a euphemism for me being born.
Mary Sue.
And,
Yeah, Mary Sue.
yeah.
And everyone just laughed at you, and that's where you learned what comedy was.
Yeah, exactly.
It turns out for a lot of ladies that everyone just laughing at you is their form of comedy. Odd.
Yes. It's kind of unfortunate, but we have to make do. And there's a saying where I come from: country girls make do.
Minnesota.
The country of Minnesota.
You should. There is a lot of country in Minnesota. You should Google "country girls make do" meme.
Oh no!
Is
do
that
not do
D-O
that.
or like D-E-W, like they make Mountain Dew?
Do as in D-O.
Yeah, don't look
okay.
that up. Don't look that up.
If you're listening to the podcast and you want to give it a go to subscribe, why not go do so? We're a part of all of the podcatchers of your choice: Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, and more.
No way.
While you're there, why not
Liar.
give it a 5-star review?
Yes.
Greatly appreciated. It would help the podcast get noticed, and we like getting noticed.
I love attention. I hit BPD.
I mean,
That joke's getting cut.
Oh! Is that where we draw the line? We're not allowed to...
yeah, we hate when we discuss mental illness on this podcast. If we are also on Twitter, our great Twitter feed, curated by only the best TV content. We're at TV Tuners on Twitter, or you can use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance at what you're saying. And that seems like a great time for Stairmaster to take it away.
Oh, we're still doing this, It's the tweet of the week! So, here are the rules. I present a tweet to my co-host, and they decide whether or not to tune in or tune out on
Yeah,
it.
does Elle got a say in this, or what's the deal?
Yes.
Come on, guys. I'm the guest.
Yeah, do ladies get a say? That's the real question here.
I have an honorary a pair of rabbit ears. I don't know what that would be.
What?
In this.
Oh,
Well,
I guess,
like,
yes,
like
in terms of
antenna.
TV. Like, I have an honorary remote.
Yeah,
Tune
that's
is remote.
good. Wow.
Alright, so this week's tweet comes from Rude Astrology. Virgos be like, I'm a perfectionist. Bitch, you have chronic imposter syndrome.
Now, is that what Virgos be like?
I guess that's a good question. Is anyone here a Virgo?
No.
No.
I guess we can't really determine whether or not that's what Virgos be like.
Is a Virgo, is that a virgin?
No. That's an astrological sign.
Oh,
I think
what
most
are the
Virgos
virgins?
are probably not virgins.
Are virgins perfectionists?
I'm gonna be honest. I including the time that you read it, Stare. I had to reread this tweet like a couple times before I even kind of understood what it was trying to say. But really what I think it's doing is it's just like taking two totally unrelated halves of sentences that have been shown to be part of viral tweets and just smashing them together and hoping that it blows
so it's
up.
like plagiarizing the femboy memes.
It's like cut ups, the Burroughs thing. I think it was him.
Is this
Yeah,
is this
the
like
chopped
cut
and
ups,
screwed.
but it's
Is this
like infinitely less artful.
is this AI generated?
Maybe.
That's what it seems.
What I want to now, Stairmaster raised a good point here. Are virgins perfectionists? And I would say, yeah, they're perfectionists at being celibate.
I think virgins want to have the perfect sex, so they haven't had it yet.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
They're sort of like,
But does that mean they have chronic imposter syndrome?
I have chronic imposter syndrome.
But are you a Virgo?
No, I'm not. I'm a Pisces.
Hmm.
Like, I feel guilty listening to rap music because I'm white. I feel like I'm intruding upon this space I shouldn't be in.
The DJ Screw tweeted and said it was okay.
Oh, okay. I'm glad he came back from the grave just for that.
He's dead?
Yeah, he died in 2000 from a purple drink overdose.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Well, Stair, I think I'm maybe if this comforts you at all, I think I might be a little bit even more pathetic than you in that regard. In that,
yeah, you're famously racist when it comes to music.
No, not just that. It's just it's the fact that the only hip hop I really listen to is by like a white guy. So like,
oh no!
Oh, you're
Don't
really
say
into
it.
Eminem.
it's not like intentional. It's just I just happen to like.
Yeah, L only
music.
likes rap about bitch ex-wives and murdering them.
Yeah. I mean, it could be worse. Elle could be like a fan of Macklemore.
Or
Oh yeah, that's who I was talking about, Swenson. Thank you.
Or Elle could be
just-
like, I did it for the nookie.
Elle's favorite song is that one where Macklemore's like, I'm not gay, but if I was, I'd want him to have rights.
Elle's like,
yeah,
I
I was kidding. By the way, it's not actually Mac.
I only listen to Japanese hip hop that's in my JRPGs.
I mean,
No, those
Same.
are famously the worst songs on, on the OSTs. So that joke doesn't even work.
I'm going to tune out on this tweet.
Yeah, fuck this tweet. And fuck the person who wrote it. I was about to say woman. That might be a bit loaded.
Wow.
This is what happens when you have a girl on the pod.
I'm gonna go ahead and tune out on this tweet because I don't respect astrology. I think that it is not real. I think that the only real thing is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
That's right. We don't respect astrology, and we don't respect women on this podcast.
Clearly, this is a definite tune out from me. Like I said, it looks like it was fucking just generated from like two halves of
Have you ever seen a good
of a
tweet?
previously viral tweet. I've never seen a good tweet. There are no such thing as good tweets.
Might I
Let's just say
interest
it's
you
the
in,
hell site.
I would indeed say it's the hell site as well as damn, you hate to see it.
Might I interest
Hellworth.
you in the at TV Tuners Twitter account? I heard there's some good tweets there.
It's pretty dank. There still has never been a good tweet, but those tweets are more dank than other tweets. By the way, my at is DJ90s Hentai on Twitter.
Yeah, we don't
that's
have a
good.
formalized plug segment, so I guess.
Yeah.
That's a
Just
good
do
place
whatever.
for that's a good place for
Figured I'd
putting
do
it.
that.
This is a tune out. Sorry, at Root Astrology. Better luck
Yeah.
next time. Let's get to a segment near and dear to our hearts. What'd you guys watch this week? Anything
Uh-oh.
interesting?
Oh, me and Elle watched Rambo 2.
Oh, so not the one dedicated to the fighters of the Muha Ajin.
No, maybe next time.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is Rambo 2 the worst one? I mean, of the original three, I guess, because 4 and 5 are like pretty terrible.
I don't like how Rambo
No,
3.
two is good.
I don't like how Rambo 3 is structured. I remember there kind of being like a middle act that dragged. Rambo 2 is a tight 90 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a tight 90.
I mean, it doesn't hold up compared to like Commando, but
Yeah. Yeah, see, that was my main thing, was like, is it going to hold up to Commando or not? And it kind of didn't. Like, it's kind of backloaded a little bit. The pacing is kind of off.
Yeah, and it kind of leans into being more of a horror movie than an action movie.
Yeah, and it's so funny because, like, we were talking about this, like, Rambo is the villain. Like,
he literally
kinda.
does burn down a Vietnamese village, and I don't think those civilians actually... They don't show you evacuating them.
He explodes it.
So you're saying he did a war crime?
Yes.
He does so many war crimes.
You're saying Rambo is America.
Yes. And it's also kind of racist.
He's American.
In addition to... Yeah.
Yikes. So that's a tune out on Rambo 2, or what?
Yeah, he has a female love interest who can only communicate with him in the terms of like a 6-year-old. And has to be explained concepts like expendable.
On the record, tune out. Would not recommend.
Oh yeah, what'd you rate on Letterboxd?
Off the record, I rated it 4.5 stars out of 5. Like,
Okay, so that's on the record.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if you're being recorded and we're gonna publish this, that's
damn
the
it.
record.
Yeah, I only gave it 3.5.
So,
So that's a
is
tune
it
in.
scenario? Is it a scenario where like the movie is sort of like objectively bad, but it is a fun watch?
Oh, there's actually some decent shots in it.
I mean, I think it's a little bit of half and half.
I don't like the hip firing so much, but
Like you said, Commando, and Commando to me is a movie that like reaches a level.
Yeah, Commando
of,
is like the par excellence for
Commando's
the genre.
art. Yeah, there's some technical proficiency in it.
No, I don't think Rambo's 2 has aged well. It's not timeless like the first one.
Or the third one dedicated to the honor of.
Yeah, I think the first.
Oh yeah, did you know James Cameron wrote the screenplay to Rambo 2?
Yeah, fucking. Oh.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What's he doing? Why is he only getting involved with sequels?
That's not true. He also did The Terminator.
I know, but like, why is he only getting involved in trying to make sequels better?
Screenplay by Sylvester Stallone and James Cameron. I mean,
could you imagine the cocaine? Right.
Directed by George P. Cosmatos, music by Jerry Goldsmith. Like, this is jam packed.
Yeah,
like between the two, how much cocaine do you think Sly and?
Well, Sly is like twice the mass of James Cameron, so he would need a lot more.
Honestly, like, in a weird way, I could almost see Sly, like, just refraining from it completely. Like, he is injecting steroids, but he's just, like, he's so amped on himself.
I think
and the idea of, like, a Rambo sequel.
I think the part of the thing I didn't like about Rambo is, Sylvester Stallone isn't a superhuman figure like Arnie is. He's just a really roided out Italian. So I don't buy him just hip-firing a machine gun and killing 200 men.
I kind of buy it, though. I don't know.
I mean, he's
see
Rocky,
what you're
man.
saying.
Come on.
Rocky's a completely different movie.
Same movie, same
like,
universe.
Serious.
Yes. Also, he did a different workout routine for that one. I think. Was it Rocky where he almost died after filming because he went to McDonald's and his body couldn't handle all this?
Oh no! McDonald's gets another.
Yeah, I think it was right after Rocky 4, which he filmed at the same time as Rambo 3. I think.
Was the worker at McDonald's who witnessed this like, if he dies, he dies?
Yeah.
Ronald was like, let them fight.
Grimace is like, throw in the damn towel!
Also, wait, is Rocky 4 the one with the robot?
Yes, Rocky 4 is the one with the robot.
Yeah, that's the best Rocky
I believe
movie.
it shows up in Rocky 5 as well.
I think it's probably by far the best.
Rocky is a movie about a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. He boxes, and like when he boxes, just like montages and like get it wrong.
Yeah, but then he needs to fight his increasingly stronger series of opponents, sort of like a shonen.
So
until 5, when it's just a random dude named Tommy Gunn.
Yeah.
And his real battle is with Concussion Protocol.
Does he fight the robot?
No.
No.
He fights Ivan Drago, who's basically a machine made out of meat.
Yeah, they heavily imply that like if they could have attached cybernetics to him, they would have.
Yeah.
But the technology just wasn't there yet in the Soviet Union. That's why they lost the Cold War.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't beat Rocky.
Well, this is rich history that I'm learning about today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys want to talk about that you watched?
I watched yesterday. I watched The Last Picture Show.
Oh.
If you guys are familiar with that.
Nope.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, my friend got me to watch it, and it was actually less bleak than I was expecting, but still like very bleak, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I remember it being described as a pretty.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like, it's not really like any other movie I've seen. It's all black and white. It all takes place in this totally featureless Texas rural town, and yeah, I guess if I can read like a short thing from the review I made of it, basically my takeaway was like, quote, "There's something incredibly fucking artful about taking a cast of blunt redneck characters and using them as sharp instruments as a storyteller to illustrate the human condition through their interactions with each other."
Also, you gave this less stars than Rambo 2.
That is correct. I gave it 1.5 less stars. I gave it 3 stars because the actual act of watching this movie is like kind of painful and boring. But I'm glad I did it. Like,
why is your Rambo 2 review, "I'm gonna kill myself," followed by 12 exclamation marks?
I was just having a brief BPD moment there.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Women do be like that.
It actually had nothing to do with the movie.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, that's my.
Yeah, I have those
contribution.
thoughts all the time. I just don't put them on my letterbox yet.
TV wise, I'm gonna give a shout out to there was a Parks and Recreation special that aired last night. As of
Oh,
this
they're
recording.
back!
They were back for one special due to for COVID-19 relief. They got everyone together. All the main cast was there. There were some fun cameos. Jason Mantzoukas is there as an absolutely bonkers character. It was a fun time.
Would you say it was delightful?
I would say it was delightful and, get a load of this, whimsical.
Is it more fun than actually going to the park?
Right now, yes.
Tune in!
Were they like on webcams or something, or was it an actual?
They
like,
were,
production?
and let me tell you, Adam Scott looks weird on a webcam.
Oh, no.
Oh man.
Yeah, we live in hell.
His hair is doing something where he looks like he's an 80s Wall Street tycoon. And I'm not a fan. Everyone else looked fine.
Man, I wish Stallone had done a movie about 80s Wall Street guys.
Yeah.
He would have been the 80s, he would have been the 80s Wall Street guy.
Yeah.
Let's train stocks.
Let's attack the Thailand currency. Oh, that's from 1997. Never mind.
Always be closing. Come on, Adrian. Always be closing.
Coffee's for winners. All right.
I'm trying to think of a Gordon Gekko quote, but
Nope.
I don't remember anything from that movie.
Isn't there?
Is he the one that sells the insurance?
He's Michael
cars?
Douglas.
Oh. I meant the Gecko.
How has Geico not done that yet? I guess Michael Douglas hasn't fallen that far that he would do a Geico commercial.
Did they even do the Gecko? I thought they phased him out.
He's there.
I saw another one.
He's
with a
there.
different animal.
He's still kicking.
How could they not keep the gecko around? He's so important to the Geico
Have they
brand.
implied that the Gecko's fucked? I feel like they've done that.
Of course.
There's only one gecko. Who's he gonna fuck?
Human woman.
It's like the B movie.
He's world weary enough. When you see him shrug his shoulders and sigh a little bit, like you're like, yeah, this guy has fucked, and he knows the pain of a lost love.
Listen,
Okay, so when Elle thinks of tiredness, she thinks of having sex. Confirmed.
the Geico
Very tiring.
gecko has absolutely ordered someone killed before.
Okay.
And can you say that for the cache of money with some googly eyes on it? No, you cannot. All right. Well, this has been what we watched. Let's go ahead and talk about the news, huh? We have some news items. So, the pandemic is a thing that's happening.
What?
It's wild. It's crazy. And there's nothing better in these times than finding your own avenue to make a whole bunch of money by selling a dumb idea to desperate TV station.
Oh, I love the thought of that. When are we going to do that, Swanson?
Well, I have a meeting with Netflix penciled in for never.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Netflix doesn't want to meet with us.
No, me, Stare, and Elle are going to get this.
It's gonna take.
Get this
Yeah, it's gonna
meeting.
take another 5 years before they're ready for the podcaster TV mini drama.
Yeah.
And by then, all podcasts will be dead and uncool.
Yeah, they'll all be historical biopics.
I got this idea. It's called Mr. Show 2.
Oh. But Bob and David are not in it.
No, they don't really have anything to do with it, and it's not funny as a result.
Oh, I'm getting a text from Netflix. They're offering $50 million for it.
Oh. Well, okay, sure.
So here's what
we
we're
don't
going to
need
do.
that much, but
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut Elle out of this, and just the three original men here
Yeah.
are going to take the idea, take the
well,
50
you know,
million.
that's Hollywood.
All right, how about in the writing room, we wait for Elle to say something funny, and then we just say it back like it's our own joke.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's good too, yeah. And then that way we always get the red credits.
Oh,
Anyway,
Elle's being attacked by our mascot, the TV tuner's crab.
yeah, and that's the noise, of course, that you're hearing.
You know, what's it been like being a roommate for the crab for the past week?
It's been challenging. I've had several mental breakdowns, but not because of the crab, just because I'm a woman.
That tracks, yeah.
You know, there's fur everywhere. I don't know how a crab has fur, but...
Well,
he's-
the crab hunts.
Yeah, the crab has gone through a period of sickness, and there have been some weird changes.
Well, I thought it was just
Yeah.
like the little critters the crab would kill and drag around.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah. I don't really look at the crab often.
I try not to, because then it looks back and it picks up the knife.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had the crab at my house, and you know, it was not working. So I said, "Hey, let's get a guest on, and we'll just kind of package in the crab with the guest spot," and
Yes.
it worked.
Mhm.
That was the real reason we had Elle on, labor-saving measures.
That's right. So yeah, Netflix, now is a great time to start selling shows, like a new anthology show that Netflix just picked up called Social Distance. It's just the fucking name of the show. Social Distance, of course, is about a new, bizarre, bewildering reality we are all experiencing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
The
does
press
that-
release adds that the show will tell a unique, personal, and deeply human stories that illustrate how we are living apart together.
Didn't Fox already do this with that show Last Man on Earth a few years back with Will? Which is
Yeah, that show was
He was
okay.
Yeah, he was basically social distanced from everyone.
Yeah, but
Talking
eventually
Talking about
people
Tim the
showed up.
Toolman
so-
Taylor.
Well, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
there
never
were
mind.
other people.
Yeah, he was hanging out.
Hanging out with the family.
But
I think the premise is a little different than the world being empty.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
I'm
like-
pretty sure this is going to be like a completely like all of the actors are separate and there's sort of like
It's gonna have a scene where a guy's in his house, like spinning around in his chair, bored or something.
yeah. There's no details on like who it's gonna be in it and when it's gonna premiere, but I mean, you gotta premiere this like sometime in the near future, right? No one a year
Yes.
from now, no one's gonna want to watch a show called Social Distance.
Because we'll all be dead from COVID-20.
Yeah, because it has a 100% mortality rate.
Yes.
Well, COVID-20 might.
That's why they had to up the number, Keo, to represent its deadliness.
Yeah, by a factor of like a lot.
That's right.
Wouldn't it be like COVID 1900 or something?
Well, you don't even want to get to Coteen. So yeah, we don't know anything else really about this Social Distance other than that it's made by the creator of Orange is the New Black.
Oh, didn't we already talk about like a working from home office drama a few weeks back?
Yeah, by the creator of The Office.
There's a lot. There's a lot of boardroom meetings that are happening through webcams, and this is what
And
they're
they got
talking
funny
about.
Zoom backgrounds, presumably.
Yeah.
And I guess there'll be a joke about one guy accidentally having a hentai background.
It's nice that the creator of Orange is the New Black is making this because much like that show, this sounds like a novel idea that will sort of slowly turn into a boring slog with no real end in sight. Anyway, the two people who sat through the end of Orange is the New Black will appreciate that.
That's a show about women.
Well, if they're listening right now, hopefully we can get them on the pod to talk about Orange is the New Black for an hour.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think anyone wants to watch that, least of all me. Anyway, guys, get a load of this, folks. It's Quibi.
It's Quibi.
It's Quibi. And it turns out it's Quibi with bad news. So Quibi hasn't been doing great, obviously.
Oh, God. Not Quibi.
Quibi, which stands for Quick Bites.
That was my next question, actually.
Was what it stood for. It's Quick Bites. Didn't have a great launch. Only had 300,000 downloads in the first day. Since then, they've claimed that it's up to 2.7 downloads, but within the first 2 weeks. But that's including re-downloads, so doesn't seem likely. Anyway, Quibi's facing a much different challenge, which is that it's currently being accused of improperly sharing your data.
Already?
What do you mean improperly sharing? That's
the streaming service has been caught sharing user data with third-party advertisers and trackers, quote-unquote, improperly. Which is to say that it was doing it without telling anybody.
You mean
They just can't help themselves. Our data is like this luscious, irresistible,
milky,
delicious, yes, milky even. Help me out here.
nectar?
Yeah, it's like a nectar.
Yeah,
It's
they
like a
really love
supple
to
nectar.
they really love to lure everybody there to lap it all up.
what does Quibi even have to offer?
People's data, obviously.
What data? Like who's watching Murder House Flip or?
No, just the data from your phone because it's a phone app.
Oh.
Because the moment you download an app, the app has access to your data. They just have to tell you that they have access to it and that they're going to use it. That's the law. Quibi decided, nah. So Quibi was making available email addresses of users who clicked on confirmation links to sign up, including through Google, Twitter, Snapchat, or Facebook. And then they would facilitate the tracking of users' online activity and make it easier for targeted ads.
Are you telling me Quibi is kind of sketchy, Swanson?
Yeah, it turns out it's Quibi is sketchy.
It's not so more like Quick Bite My Ass.
Oh,
Yeah, got him.
This is not good. I like to maintain a DEFCON level 5 amount of security around my email accounts at all times. I like to log in and see just no unexpected emails, only expected emails.
DEFCON 5 is the lowest one.
So like
That's
when
the
you
base
get
time.
like one spam that comes through and it's like, "Hello, from I am giving money." You're like,
I shut down that email immediately and make a new one.
I delete the page off of my computer. I call the cops.
Yeah, you take a printout, show it to them.
They screen my calls now, unfortunately, because I've done it several times. But
well, that's once again the police not listening to women.
See, I have a second identity with a burner email. His name is Manfred Williams. And
That's exotic. Interesting.
And it's just you.
Well,
like
it's not.
You're the only one using the account.
Oh, you can use it if you want.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Keo, I've just met you, but you're like an onion. There's so many layers to you.
Yeah,
that is what we always say about them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Every time I smell them, I cry.
Yep.
I guess every time I cut them, I cry.
yeah.
And
There's a lot of strange stuff going on around here. Yeah, so I've got a second identity, Manfred Williams, and he takes all the spam emails for me. It's pretty great.
That's pretty good, I guess.
Hopefully he doesn't become alive somehow.
How could that happen?
Maybe like an AI imprints upon it?
No. It sounds like a 90s action movie that I would watch.
Well, that sounds preposterous. Wait, what's that sound?
Oh no. Those sound like the footsteps of an AI.
Oh my god, it's him!
Hello, Father. You brought me into this world
Please, what do you
and
want?
cursed me.
No! No! Swanson, what's the next news story so we can go away?
Oh, I still have more to say about Quibi, but we can move on.
Okay, what do you have to say about Quibi?
Well, Quibi naturally says that this was a mistake, and released a statement that said that they immediately fixed the issue when it was found.
How do you fix the issue when you've given the data away already?
That doesn't fix all of those goddamned email accounts that have now been shared. People's email accounts are no longer secure from
They're no longer sacred.
receiving spam emails on their page.
Yeah, and
their web
now
terminal.
people's extra email accounts are becoming real people.
Yeah,
This is
Well,
all
that's
Quibi's
like-
fault. It's Quibi!
Revenge. Time to die. My voice has changed.
Oh. Oh no, he's...
I can...
Oh.
no, puberty.
Whoa, a gunshot went off.
Oh, I'm shot!
Oh,
God!
Okay,
I was
well,
hoping Keo would
Keo,
shoot
it hit
the
you in the
robot.
shoulder. I don't know why you're being such an over-dramatic about this.
Was that the robot from Rocky IV that we were talking about?
maybe.
You know what?
Keo,
I
I don't think that robot could harm a soul, but I could be wrong.
I
mean,
did
it's
see
been a
it.
long
I
time.
did see it sort of wheeling away. It didn't. We heard it walk, but it doesn't look like it has legs.
Oh, I'm
that
shot,
thing's
guys!
That thing's number one enemy is stairs. So actually, stare.
I guess I should probably be protecting Keo.
Oh,
Oh,
stare. I'm gonna die. Hold me.
Well, could you wait
Well, I
don't
can't.
know,
We're recording remotely because
40
of
minutes
Corona.
or so?
Oh, it's getting so cold, Swanson.
Please, we have a job to do, Keo.
Well, could you keep it warm for 40 minutes?
Oh,
You mean like
okay.
Samurai Cop?
Yeah.
I want for you.
What a deep dive.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it means Japanese sword.
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna hold it together for however long this podcast takes. Then I'm just gonna immediately collapse to my death.
Okay.
That makes sense.
You won't go into shock for another hour or so.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you're the expert, right?
Oh, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, did we-
Elle
can we
just
talk
plays one
about-
on TV.
One last time, I just want to talk about how dumb it is that Quibi has a 10-minute court drama show. Not even like a drama, like actual reality court.
Oh,
Yeah, with Chrissy Teigen as the judge, Al.
Oh,
yeah. It's quick
that's
bites.
bad.
You gotta quickly learn about this court
Quick
case, and then
bites.
you're done with it.
Quick bites, it's Quibi. Quick bites. Anyway, yeah, obviously the idea that it was an issue that they fixed immediately is bad, because what this email sharing was pretty much a growth hack, where they use it to boost ad campaigns and other analytics.
It's always about advertising. Haven't they already realized that advertising on the internet is grossly overinflated?
Yeah. Also, the other problem is that Quibi should know about this, given that how new they are and how well funded they are. And also, all of these new laws came into effect just recently to notify users of when their info is shared. Quibi should have been very aware of all of this, so there's almost no way that the people working at Quibi were not aware of it.
Okay, so I'm looking up the guy in charge of Quibi, Jeffrey Katzenberg. He was the former chairman of Walt Disney Studios.
His name is actually, he changed it, it's Quibi Katzenberg.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Anyways, according to Wikipedia, Katzenberg has also been involved in politics, with his active support of Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Warren, and Barack Obama. He was called one of Hollywood's premier political kingmakers.
What a
and
guy.
one of the Democratic Party's
Wow.
top national fundraisers.
You know what I like?
I have a...
what I like happening nowadays is king makers existing.
Yeah.
Man, Quibi is like a Shadow Inc. type op.
Jeffrey Katzenberg, you dropped your crown, king. I actually have a theme song here for Jeffrey Katzenberg.
okay.
Are you guys ready for this? I'm a snake, and when you hear them talking about snakes, they're talking about me.
That's pretty good. You should get a rap career going.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
pretty-
nothing bad will happen to you.
Swanson the rapper. Let's go.
Yeah,
Like,
That
watch
is a
out.
good name.
like Swanson's not going to come out the shower and look at the mirror and see a man behind him.
Yeah.
5 people get that reference.
And they're the 5 subscribers to our podcast on the regular. One last news item here. Fox, of course, is one of the other regular networks doomed, striving for content as they fall helplessly into the pit of COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So desperate for content is Fox that they just announced a new reality show called Celebrity Watch Party.
What?
A aptly titled show in which we watch famous people watch things.
What, like those crappy YouTube videos?
Yeah, what they've done is just made YouTube reaction videos, yeah. But with famous people.
We get to watch our favorite celebrities go, ooh.
Yeah, look, this one involves Atomic Train alumni Rob Lowe.
Wow.
Ooh.
What a powerful figure.
Clearly his most popular role.
What are they watching? Swanson, do you know?
No, and we don't... I don't know if we find out what they're watching, or if we... Either way, we don't see what they're watching.
Maybe we have to guess what they're watching based on their reactions.
Oh, that'd be fun. I just want to talk about how there's this trend in entertainment, like how the bourgeoisie is just taking all the creative stuff for itself.
Like, for instance, like if we see the celebrities laughing, we can infer that they're watching footage of homeless people dying.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. And if we see them like wiping tears from their eyes, we can assume they're watching their own performances.
Yes.
They're watching the Oscars.
Yeah. Now, this is the part that I really wanted to tell Stairmaster about. This is not an original idea. This is actually an adaptation of a UK show called Gogglebox.
Oh, what?
Oi, put on the Gogglebox. We're watching the telly, watching the Gogglebox on the telly.
Oi, stupid in it. They can't see what we're seeing. They gotta guess.
Gogglebox had a distinct difference in that it was a bunch of randos watching and not celebrities.
This is what I'm saying. The bourgeoisie is taking over entertainment. You know, back in the day, you could have like a truck driver like James Cameron become the biggest director, but nowadays you have like J.J. Abrams being like already the son of successful Hollywood figures. Just
They're taking over.
Way upward.
They're taking over podcasts too.
Yes.
You know, Stare, that point was a little bit too insightful.
Yeah, sorry.
Might have to put you in the put you in the bad boy box for a little while.
Oh, the cube.
Time to put you in the silent cube.
Oh, Stare does not like it in there. He abuses me when he gets out.
Yeah. Well, let's not worry about that. Let's watch the Gogglebox.
Okay.
Oh, sounds like the crab wants to watch the Gogglebox.
Yeah, he just jumped up on my lap.
The show,
no.
the
He's doing
Gogglebox
that
in
now?
question, has been so massively successful that it's been adapted into 35 different countries, and now it makes its way to America. But of course, with the American twist of being about celebrities.
Gogglebox, Australia, Gogglebox, Ireland, Celebrity
That's right.
Gogglebox.
Yeah.
Number Wang, New Zealand.
There's a Finland one.
This celebrity edition will feature a list of names that Keo loves, like the aforementioned Rob Lowe, Meghan Trainor, Raven Simone, Master P, and Romeo.
It already came to America once before in 2013 as The People's Couch.
I know who one of those people is. Raven Simone.
Yeah, do you think she's gonna be like, "That's so Raven"?
She's gonna predict what's gonna happen. In the program.
Also, oddly enough, Steve Wozniak is on this.
What?
Why do I want to watch
What?
whatever Steve Wozniak is doing? I don't want to watch Steve Wozniak react to anything.
What? You mean the computer guy?
I
Yes.
thought he was on his deathbed.
He is.
Maybe that's what he's watching. It's like a 2001 scenario.
Damn. Well, I for one can't wait for him to become the god baby that oversees us.
The Goggle Baby.
Yeah.
So apparently, I guess the People's Couch was a thing.
Yes.
Do you have any info on that, Starmaster?
Yes. Every episode on Wikipedia lists what shows they watched.
Oh.
Episode 2, they watched Catfish. The Voice.
So they're watching TV.
Yes.
Oh, so it's kind of like us if it was celebrities.
Yeah, that's not...
I don't like the sound of that. I don't want Rob Lowe encroaching on my domain. Stay to your TV shows so I can watch them and say if they're good or bad, Rob.
Swanson, if they had to replace you, they'd use Dylan McDermott.
I'd be okay with that. Even though the age difference is massive between the two of us.
And Keo would be replaced by Taye Diggs.
Another person who's about the same age difference.
I guess I'd be replaced by Paul Giamatti.
Should I be offended by that one or what? Who's that?
What is Taye Diggs in? What's he getting away with the gun?
I don't know what that is.
Paul Giamatti is the most accurate one-to-one of Stairmaster that I've ever...
Yeah, that's unfortunately true.
Oh God, what are we watching this week?
Oh, he was in Equilibrium, Keo.
Oh, okay.
As the evil Equilibrium man.
Is Equilibrium the movie where they said the resources are low?
Yeah, and they also have the giant, massive God Tower.
That movie is so great.
Yeah, that movie is pretty good.
Is that the only thing that Taye Diggs has been in?
He's been in My Little Pony, the movie.
Oh, he was the guy. He's in Rent, of course. That's what I know Taye Diggs from. He was in the Rent.
And he's in The Way of the Gun.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched The Way of the Gun.
Yeah, let's watch it after this. Right now.
Wait, after this right now?
Welcome to TV Tuner's Gogglebox, where we're watching The Way of the Gun, directed by
he was also
McQuarrie.
in terrible, absolutely god-awful movie, Malibu's Most Wanted.
Al, did you see that? I didn't. Nope.
It's a bad movie, don't...
Okay, let's move on.
It's bad.
So that's a tune out from us.
So yeah, that's also probably a tune out on Celebrity Watch Party, unless we, ironically, watch it later.
Which we won't.
Probably not. I feel like Stairmaster's going to immediately veto that. It just sounds like a worse version of like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah,
it's like if you were looking at the robots make fun of the movie, but not seeing the movie.
Honestly, like after hearing about the concept for this show, like I just want to see 10 seconds of it to like so I can point at it and be like, oh, that's what the fuck it is, and then never watch it again.
If you're gonna, here's a note for network executives. If you're gonna steal stuff from YouTube, just start doing unboxing shows.
Yeah.
At least there's something exciting
I just
there.
want to see my favorite celebrity just open a series of boxes that are full of other boxes.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I would watch like a Z-list celebrity. Like I'd watch like Tom Green like open up 5 series of boxes and be like, "There's something in here."
And then after a while, they just start weeping, noticing the futility of it all.
It would go some places. Anyway, that's it for the news. Yep. So let's take a quick second to stop and take a breather and remember our good folks over at BigHeadsMedia.com. As you all know, no smoking. I put up this new sign that says no smoking. I know I can't really enforce it because we're all, social distanced. But as you all know, of course, we're a part of the Big Heads Media Network.
What?
And there's tons of great podcasts on this network, including this one. It's called Cooking with Grief. It's a cooking show that also deals with depression and other sad things. Give it a listen.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm also Chris.
And together we do a comedy podcast called Cooking with Grief.
Each week we dive into 4 surprising facts about anything from science to history to the weird world we live in, making jokes about all of it as we go along.
You can find us on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And you can also find us on Twitter at Cooking with Grief. No G on cooking.
Glitter, apparently, is so unique that it can be effectively used as forensic evidence.
The Bank of England's chief economist has urged to start using people's Spotify playlist as a way of measuring the economy.
In China, Avengers has been translated as Fulian, or Women's Federation.
Not only did the Russians capture the Crimean Peninsula, they also captured some Ukrainian military dolphins.
In Pinocchio, the film becomes a real boy. In the original, it ends with a cat and a fox hanging him from a tree.
Scientists have wiped a snail's memory.
And Slytherin's going, can we have an extensive series of tunnels, sort of wide enough to fit a giant people-killing snake?
Where do you fall on the scone debate?
Scone, obviously.
Oh, I got scone.
So, what have you got to lose? Give us a try.
Nothing to lose but your sweet, precious time.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow,
That
it
was
doesn't
intense,
sound
guys.
sad. It sounds uplifting.
I'm crying.
Well,
It's getting.
What do you think, Al?
Sounds good. I don't know how good grief works as an ingredient, but I have been cooking a lot more recently because of the aforementioned apocalypse. So
that's true.
Well, here's the deal. If you're running out of salt, tears.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good
Or
point.
urine.
Yeah. Tears are also good because they add a little flavor and provide some moisture if your food's getting a little too dry.
Well, that's more like not for the cooking part, but for the eating part. It's like kind of like a salt shaker.
Oh yeah, you just sprinkle a little bit of your tears on this plate of spaghetti.
You're just like, this is bland.
I feel like that would be like a plot point in Kingdom Hearts or something. Like,
What?
in order to finish this omelet, Sora, you need to sprinkle some of your tears in it.
Is that what Kingdom Hearts
do I
3 was
have
about?
Kyrie, I'm so sorry I left you to the wolves.
Maybe this is like a subplot in like a Yakuza cooking mini game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good to me. You can check out that podcast and many others over at bigheadsmedia.com.
Big head, big head, big.
Head?
Big head.
And with that out of the way, it's time for another segment near and dear to our hearts. It's Trailer Blazers. Hit the theme, Kyorain. Jesus.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Wow. That's really
Is it over?
That was a really epic theme for what is a pretty basic show that we looked at on this one.
Yeah, that theme was made by our good friend Crean.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Crean. Also the designer of our logo, for anyone wondering.
Yeah, great guy. Tune in
Also,
on
he's
Crean.
my weed friend.
Not your dealer, but your friend.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
Yeah,
comrades.
as far as I know,
just-
he does not deal anything.
No.
Yeah, you're just comrades in weed. He does
Yes.
not supply you with said weed.
Uh,
They take
I
weed
get-
separately from a safe distance.
yes. More than
Yeah.
30 feet apart.
Oh, that's like a lot. So yeah, this is called Crossing Swords, and it's by people who made Robot Chicken. So it's pretty much what you would expect from the people who made Robot Chicken.
Now,
So yeah, it's like the stop motion with these little wooden peg people. They sort of look like the people on Thomas the Tank Engine, but they can move.
They look like those old, like, shitty version of Legos that you would get at like a Christian like book fair.
Mega Blocks.
Yes.
I think they're probably most comparable to like Fisher Price people. I think that's what they're going for.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
my takeaway from this program is that it's for adults.
This a dog cartoon.
Yeah, they do say F word repeatedly.
Yeah. I don't
There's-
think there was a single scene in that trailer that was not for adults.
There's penises in this one.
Yes, they're hanging. Dong has been hung on screen in this trailer.
Little claymation penises.
Yeah, this is cutting edge stuff. This is the advancement of art. This is what we're seeing.
I really only had like two takes about this. Like the first one is essentially like I don't know how I feel about the animation style because while similar to Robot Chicken in some respects, the actual fidelity of the models and their articulation leaves something to be desired. So you essentially have these close-ups on these very stiff and rigid characters, and they have to rely on voice acting and other cues to provide nuance. Which is not good.
Yeah.
It looks
And
worse than
it's like-
Thomas the Tank Engine. which had static
Yeah.
faces.
Oh, yes.
The only emotion they could do was roll their eyes. If you wanted to have them change their expression, you had to cut to a different angle.
I don't know. I felt pretty bad on that episode of Thomas where the one dude gets trapped in a tunnel and just they sort of like.
Oh, poor guy.
It's okay, they let him out after he learned his lesson.
Oh, he suffered in that.
Yeah, and they learned. He learned his lesson by them just sort of like letting him rot away in a tunnel.
Yeah, that's what you gotta learn your place under capitalism. There's also another episode where a train gets turned into a steam engine, like a steam pump, and then the building he's in gets abandoned and reclaimed by the Earth, and he's never seen again.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, the British are fucked up.
Yeah.
The other point I had, boys, was
We got
that I honestly, like, upon concluding watching the trailer, I felt like a strong feeling like this could have aired in either 1997 or 2007, and I see no fucking place for this whatsoever in the landscape of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 90s bit, like, it kind of made me think of, like, Celebrity Deathmatch, you know, that claymation shit. So I was like, oh yeah, it could have been the 90s, and then the 2000s bit, you know, could have been Robot Chicken, but they were doing Robot Chicken then. So
But yeah, it has no place in this post-Trump world.
I agree.
I don't think anyone like. Is there anyone who's super interested in a cartoon that's like super edgy? This is for adults.
I don't think like people get marketed on Robot Chicken. I think they just watch it because it's on.
I think the novelty of crazy, edgy adult humor is like fully worn off by now.
Yeah, I think because we've gotten to the point now where like adult cartoons are very prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who knows if we're out of phase here, because apparently the Harley Quinn show, which we all hated, is well liked.
True, although I'm still not convinced that it was a thing where it didn't get better with other episodes.
Or maybe there's a psyop going on. Maybe there's like some manufactured consent.
Yeah. Also, that that still looks better than whatever this trailer was.
This was like the idea of making a show for adults, and that's about the only premise, cranked up to 11. That's just all it is. It's like,
Yes.
well,
So
we're going to talk about dicks and sex.
So in conclusion, watch anime instead of Western animation. I was about to say ammunition.
Well, that too.
Well, don't watch Ammunition because it usually just kind of sits there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very sort of boring to watch. Although it might be more interesting than whatever this is. Alright, enough of that. Robot Chicken's still on the air somehow, huh?
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like airing
apparently-
reruns?
Nope. Apparently they're in the midst of their 10th season. They've been around since 2005, though.
Yeah, they have. I remember. I was in 5th grade at a friend's sleepover. And our mom just couldn't get to sleep, so she was watching that. Also, we were sleeping in the living room for some reason, because my friend was afraid of ghosts in his bedroom.
Huh.
And I didn't have a sleeping bag, so I was just sleeping on the floor.
I
With
have
a shitty
so
blanket. Yes.
I have so many questions.
And also he had a hole in his shorts so you could see his balls. If you were careful.
The more
Yeah,
details you add, the more...
I
Also,
feel like
another-
I feel like I'm really there, Stare.
Also,
Yeah.
another sleepover, I remember being up until like 3 a.m. because his brother was in the basement playing Star Wars Republic Commando. From start to finish.
Did you see any sack that time?
No, I did not.
He was looking though. He checked.
A little bit of a fun trivia fact here. So Robot Chicken debuted in 2005. Venture Bros, Robot Chicken's on its 10th season now.
Yes.
Venture Bros debuted in 2004, is now currently on its 7th season. So Robot Chicken has a way to go before they have a method of taking so long to produce so little.
Aren't they done? Aren't they almost done?
Venture Bros?
Yeah.
I mean, they have they got at least one other season planned.
Oh, good for them.
Wow, it's been a long time since I've seen any Adventures of the Venture Associates.
Yes, the pros.
Yeah, they're actually season 8 is being titled Bernie Bros.
Wow, interesting take.
I'm putting a veto on that bit.
You're right. None of the cast of the Venture Bros would vote for Bernie.
Yeah, and Bernie isn't relevant anymore.
He's dead.
Or a Howie Homie podcast.
Who?
The Green Party guy.
Yeah, he's gonna win for sure.
Yeah. The moment you said the Green Party guy and I said, who? That was...
Alright. So yeah, trailer.
Yeah, it was a tune out. Don't like
Tune out.
Bad.
Yeah, tune the fuck out, listener.
Well,
We're
that
just
sounds
tuning
like a
in
line
and
from the
out on
show.
everything now.
That's the name of the show is TV Tuners.
But everything sucks. So if everything sucks, then isn't it our duty then to tune out to everything? Tune out to reality itself.
Yeah, let's
if
tune out to
reality
society.
if reality indeed does end up sucking.
Well, I like the
These are the types of-
sunset.
Oh yeah, that's pretty nice sometimes. But then the sun leaves.
Yeah, it makes me feel sad when the sun goes away.
I like nighttime.
It
I can
get
see
cold.
like
It
I
get
can
cold.
see like there's like 5 stars I can look at it at night.
It get cold.
Yeah,
And then the Wolfman attacks.
Yeah.
well, here's what I do when it's cold. I see. I have this large sheet of woven cloth,
Oh. Okay. Go
What?
on.
and it's just layer after layer of cloth. And what I do with that is I take that, I pick it up, I look at it. Okay, you with me?
No.
I think I'm following. I think I got it.
Right, and I take that, I pick that up, and I wrap it around my body.
What?
Yeah.
See, with these last few subjects, we're regressing back to early civilized human topics of conversation, and I am frankly here for it.
Yeah.
I love anthropology.
So what that does for me, guys, is it makes my body heat stay next to my body.
Whoa! This is a life hack.
I enjoy fire and harnessing it.
Oh yeah, if you're really
For
cold,
energy.
you can make a fire. You know how to do that?
What?
Yeah, sometimes a dog will come up when I light the fire and try to enjoy its warmth.
Yeah,
Did I just let it?
Yeah, and you know what you should do? You should give the dog like little bones and scraps from your meal.
Look, I got a tip for you guys. I don't know if you know about this one yet, but this one time I broke a chicken's neck, and then I tripped and fell, and the chicken fell right next to the fire. But when I picked the chicken up 30 minutes later because I passed out because I tripped and fell, it was cooked. It tasted really good, and I
Cooked?
Hold on, what's this word that you just used? Cooked?
It's this word I made up. It means
Oh, thanks.
the chicken was
Okay,
turned
well, I know what a chicken is
brown.
like. A chicken has feathers on it. It has a
Yeah,
body.
it's kind of tough to chew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually when I do that, I get a little sick after.
I also used a sharp implement to remove its skin and feathers.
What the hell?
So that I was chewing on its meat and ended up tasting
Okay,
really
well,
good.
what's the meat like when it gets on the fire?
It's it
Is it
becomes a little bit stiffer, becomes a
Yeah?
little bit darker, and it's delicious.
Hey guys.
It tastes like chicken.
Hey, Swanson.
Hey guys. I just came back. Made the wheel.
Oh!
A what?
Wow, we can move
Shit.
things around
What's-
easier now.
What's the wheel?
It's like a big circular thing with a
All right,
hole
all right.
in
What
it.
would you?
Hold on, what's a circle?
But I mean, what the fuck what can I do with just a big circle?
What was
What
your
if we had
thought
two
process
wheels?
behind making this?
Yeah. You just go around I thought what if I needed to move quicker?
Oh, hey guys, you know how wood floats?
No.
What if we put... Well, moving on.
These conversations and more are sort of the basis for the show we watched this week.
Yes, exactly.
The Midnight Gospel, a new show by Adventure Time creator Pendleton Ward, and based off of podcast recordings from a man known as Duncan Trussell from his podcast, the Duncan Trussell Family Hour.
Also, frequent guest on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Okay, well, I was going to say that this show seems like what would happen if you took like a knockoff Joe Rogan and then animated it behind wacky stuff.
So literally those fan animations of podcast people do, except for 22 minutes.
Yeah,
and it's kind of neat, but
yeah,
it's a lot.
It
feels like does anyone remember Dr. Katz?
No.
That old show with the wobbly animation where it was like to a therapist and he would talk to his patients or whatever. It was like a precursor to home movies.
I thought of home movies too watching this. It took me way too long to figure out what was going on.
Yeah. I definitely got some home movies vibes, but
there's some fun visuals in this. It's just that I think by far this is the weirdest show we've watched for the podcast.
Yeah, I don't think we can recap it. It's plotless, sort of like The Departed.
Well, there is a.
I want you to expand on that.
Well, there's rats in both of these.
Okay. And the rats are like a metaphor.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really about the events; it's about the people.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to say, I guess my main thought about it is I feel kind of stupid saying this, but it was only halfway through the second episode I realized oh, I'm just listening to a literal podcast. There are these fantastical animations going on, and it ties into the animation frequently enough where it stays connected, but kind of barely. And the first episode, I thought, oh, this is just a really long bit. This is kind of funny. I kind of vibe with it. There's some funny shit going on.
Yeah.
But, the first episode is fun, and then the second episode loses the thread a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I did not like the second as much as the first.
Yeah, I did not pick good source material for that second one, I don't think.
No, yeah. Let's start. We're not going to recap because it's very hard to recap a thing that doesn't have a concrete plot.
Well, I think it does have a pretty...
I mean, it's little vignettes with some standout elements, but yeah. They're going to be all over the place, folks.
I think the plot is actually pretty easy to understand if you actually just follow what's happening on the screen and not just ignore the ins and outs of the conversation they're having.
Yeah,
but basically, there's a zombie apocalypse happening on some planet. This guy uses his computer to go there and have an interview with a random guy there who happens to be the president. They just have this nonchalant podcast conversation as they just deal with a zombie apocalypse.
Also, this president's 2 feet tall. He's shorter than Krillin.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And the president is voiced by the guest of the episode of the podcast that they're sampling from, which is Dr. Drew, who is an American media personality who talks about addiction, is also a piece of shit.
Unfortunately, they could not get Dr. Dre.
That would be, motherfuckers forgot about Dre. So yeah, they talk about drugs and good drug and bad drug and stuff like that,
and getting high as fuck.
Yeah,
I feel like this is maybe a little bit missing the forest for the trees, but I kept getting kind of hung up on the mechanics of this world, because we see that Clancy, the main character, lives in this fantastical world in a trailer, and he has this universe simulator. Now, in the beginning, I'm assuming okay, well, it's a simulator, it's a big computer. He's basically doing VR, but it's full sensory everything. But then that gets called into question.
Yes.
And maybe they deal with this later, or I don't know, but at the end of every episode, he gets shit back out of this vagina shaped
or maybe it's a
simulator.
butthole since he gets shit out.
Well, he gets discharged. Let's just say that
the simulator does look like a vagina.
I think it looks like a butt.
And from each world that he visits, like an actual tangible object from that world comes back with him. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay. This is like, this show isn't, focused on centering like the actual plot and day-to-day happenings of Clancy, but like this, if this doesn't get dealt with world building wise, well, I hope someone gets fired for that blunder.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And it's weird because Pendleton is in charge of all of this, and
yes,
Adventure Time sort of started out in a similar vein. Obviously, not as trippy or as free flowing, but like of it being just random fantasy adventures before it became like the over-grossing, like overarching story arc that it had, where it became like very in depth by the end. Of course, he wasn't working on it by the end, but he set everything into motion. So I would be willing to believe that it would go farther, but also it's based off of a podcast, so it feels like it's kind of unable to.
Yeah, honestly, I thought the bit for this was not that it was a podcast, but that it was just two people having a pretty like living room-esque conversation about just whatever. And it was kind of funny because it was juxtaposed with them having this epic zombie adventure that they do not care about, so and they're just carrying on with this. Frankly,
they're very
kind
disaffected by all the death and chaos around them.
There's a guy who we don't get like a name for or anything, but he's like a dude who's like the zombie like defeater, and he comes in and he's like, "Come with me if you want to live," and then he gets murdered by zombies, and they just steal his truck and leave.
What's he a reference to? It seems like that's something.
They continue having this basically, I want to just call it vapid conversation.
Well, because you've never done weed, Keo.
Both of the conversations in these episodes seem very like galaxy brain.
Yeah,
I've never done any weed, but the way they the way they talk about it, I think is a bit like. Kind of overselling it a little bit.
Yeah. There were two things I was expecting from this first conversation. One was that at any moment Elon Musk would show up.
Oh, God.
And say that, like, the stock was too high for Tesla or something. And
topical.
The second was that at any moment either Duncan, who is the titular voice actor for Clancy, or the main the guy he's talking with would say, "You watch this show called Rick and Morty? Funniest shit you'll ever see in your life."
Yeah, both of those things would not have been too far off.
I
want to like emphasize, like, I think the animation was really neat. Like, it looks attractive. The color palette is very attractive. Like. It does kind of have that like ugly like adult cartoon like character design type thing going on, but overall it's a feast for the eyes, especially episode 2. Like where episode 2 lacks in like cohesion, it kind of makes up for it in like what's going on around them. Also,
they do that Into the Spider-Verse thing with the deliberately low frame rates.
Yeah.
Which can be hit or miss, but I think they kind of dealt with it decently.
Yeah, so they go on this zombie adventure. It ends with them all turning into zombies.
It turns out being a zombie is good?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, there's music numbers as well in the show.
Yeah, this is the thing they, I guess, find out is that, like, being a zombie isn't all that bad because now they're all, like, together as zombies. But then the problem becomes that they become human again thanks to a cure that they found. And then all of the other zombies around them just kill them.
Yeah,
they really had a very unsystematic way of curing these zombies.
I mean, in most zombie media, there's never actually a cure.
Yeah, so it makes sense that it makes sense that if they did cure them, they would just,
completely botch it.
Yeah.
Also, what the hell is that giant zombie inspired by?
I don't really know.
That's got to be inspired by something. You can't just have a giant zombie.
That means there was a giant. It was just a giant man at some point.
I mean, Attack on Titan is basically giant zombies.
Yeah, I think it might have been inspired by something called Shingeki
Shut the fuck
no
up.
Kyojin.
Oh no.
Oh, so this is fascist. With his pro-militarization
Actually-
of Japan. That makes a lot of sense.
Well,
considering
it
that
could
having
also
pregnant
be-
lady.
My thought is that it could be the star of last week's episode, The Big Show.
Yes.
Oh, he's a very big man.
Yeah.
Also, there's a guy in a throne they run over. What was the deal with him?
I don't really know.
I got a lot of questions.
I think a lot of it is just supposed to be there as sort of odd deal. You're not supposed to, because the characters don't really care about what's going on. You're not really supposed to think more of it other than it's a fun visual.
Yeah, it kind of contributes to the disjointedness of the show.
Yeah.
The fact that, it feels like the animators or whoever was just like told to go wild and come up with whatever.
And then have the characters on the screen barely react to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, what ends up happening is that the zombies start eating them alive, and Clancy leaves and returns to his dimension with a dog.
Towards the end of this, I had a terrifying realization that, first of all, the whole episode was going to be like this, but also the next episode was going to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when we get to this next episode here, which is Stranger, which is good because the conversation in this one is much less interesting.
At least the other one was about like drugs, which is fun, I guess.
Yeah, this one is about like pseudo spirituality.
Yeah, and death.
Yeah. But also they don't really tackle death as much as I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's got like some Okja directed shit going on. The Bong Joon-ho film.
It's really just it's really boomer spirituality that gets covered here, which makes sense given the guest. But again, like the stupid head that I am, when I started watching it, I was like, who's this lady? Why are they talking like this? Why did she say that she's a child of the 70s when she's actually an alien deer dog on a completely non-existent
No, I think it's
planet?
like a parallel Earth. Like that's
Yeah, no, that's kind. I mean, that's the way I resolved it in my head, and then,
Which explains also why they talk about like Jesus.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
crazy
exactly.
stuff going on in this world. There's like a meat apocalypse of some kind.
Yeah, they're like clown robots that are just turning people into meat.
Which I gotta say, like that whole like kind of background storyline was like a lot more engaging than the one in the first episode. But again, it's like kind of still that trade off.
The conversation happening in the foreground is a podcast that I would never listen to.
Yes.
Complete with some fun visuals throughout. Like, the best part of both of these episodes is when they just become a giant meat monster and just start roaming around the town.
Yeah, in the middle of this pitched battle between the clown faces and the gas mask guys.
Yeah. The gas mask creatures like insects. That's what I was getting, right?
I know that they're friends with giant flies.
Or the giant fly. Okay, yeah, because the giant flies are what take the remaining meat and then just feed them to.
They're young.
Yeah.
Either way, though, this world is not in good shape.
Yeah. Especially considering it does explode at the end.
Yeah. As did the last world. Well, I guess the last world didn't explode so much as all the zombies took over.
Oh,
Unexploded.
no, they cured the zombies and then it exploded.
Well, they cured some of the zombies, and then those other zombies ate the people that got cured.
I thought the planet exploded, though.
I think so, because I think the gag is that the planet explodes at the end of everything that he goes through.
Yeah, it just explodes. It's not explained why. It just does.
I wonder if it has something to do with what he, like, I wonder if he's
Is
unintentionally
he destroying the
causing
planets?
them. Yeah, is
himself?
he unintentionally destroying the planets?
Or maybe
They do
he's-
also, the computer does mention at the start of the episode there's a bunch of parallel Earths that have already been destroyed.
Yeah.
Due to user operator error.
The thing I think what they're going for here is like very slow world building, which probably isn't like, it doesn't matter because I'm spoilers, probably not going to watch more of this. But I think because at the beginning of this, when he first lands on this clown world, he mentions that that he got the computer from a loan from his sister, and that his whole plan is to like be a famous like videocaster.
Yeah, sort of like us.
Yeah, that's our whole plan, is to be famous podcasters. And much like him, we have woeful listenership. And that can all change thanks to you, dear listener.
Yeah,
Anyway,
tell your friends with the gun in hand, saying, "Hey, check out TV Tuners."
or travel into another dimension and interview people and tell them about the podcast. Oh.
Yeah, like a gun like that one L's got there.
Are you gonna shoot the crab?
Well, he just escaped out of my sight, so
Yeah, he's tricky like that.
I think he's learning what a gun is.
Yeah, don't
Well,
follow
he knows
him into the air ducts.
Oh,
He
he
knows
already
what a
knows
gun
what a
is.
knife is, so if he finds out what a gun is, I'm gonna be super worried.
Swanson, he knows what a gun is. I tried to shoot him last week.
Why?
I wanted him gone!
Just put him outside.
Swanson.
He knows how to open doors.
Put him far
And-
away outside.
He knows how to find where I am, and he knows how to pick locks.
And he knows how to call Uber.
Put him back where he belongs in the ocean.
Swanson, he
I,
just
talk
think
to
I think he likes me more than he likes you guys, because we haven't really fought all that much.
That is true.
Yeah, well,
Well,
maybe
you can keep him, Al. He'll be real happy with you.
Thanks.
Yeah, maybe that's our problem, is that the crab is not a fan of our toxic masculinity.
We do have that going.
Yeah, we haven't.
Just some pheromones you guys give off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Musk.
Our intoxicating pheromones. Is that what you're saying?
Stinky.
Yeah, Stare, why you got a stinky man musk about you?
Oh, well, with the quarantine, I haven't been going out, and I've been, dawdling on the showers.
Oh, we don't want to hear your life story, Stare.
Well,
Yeah,
on the other hand, I bathe extra. That's how I racked up a $14,000 water bill.
Wow.
Oh, you've just been bathing like twice a day.
What? Wait, have you just
Twice.
been leaving the faucet on?
Well, basically what I do is I just kind of hang out in the shower with the water running on me.
Oh, so like you do,
It's
do
ice cold.
everything.
It's such an interesting idea.
You do like everything from the shower, then. Like you take Zoom calls in the shower.
Yeah.
Oh, are you in the shower right now?
Yeah.
Can you pan the camera down?
I'm sure. Here you go.
Further.
Oh.
Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your chest.
Yeah.
See
I
more.
like what I see.
Oh.
Okay.
How far down
Moving
does
on.
that thing go?
I got to
Alright.
see Kia's belly button. I'm done now.
You're satisfied?
Yes.
Yeah, it was in innie and an outie. Very strange.
Do you like my sound cancellation techniques?
Yes.
Yeah. They call it a quantum
It is
belly
very
button.
impressive.
Yeah, it's Schrodinger's belly button. It's neither here nor there.
Yeah, enjoy.
So yeah, they have this conversation. The most confusing part is that this lady is talking with Clancy for a little bit, and then at a certain
Third
point,
guy.
another person just shows up.
Oh, yes. These people are giant deer dogs, by the way.
Yeah, who get turned into like meat.
And they don't care.
Yeah, none of them seem to care that they're murdered.
Well, in universe, there is the explanation that they have been drugged
oh, that is
with a
true.
relaxant little titled like Namastex.
Yeah. So yeah,
But it's weird because I do not associate yoga with clowns.
But do you associate
but-
yoga with drugs?
Yeah,
Maybe.
but see, it works because the phrase namaste is being cynically harnessed in a pharmaceutical drug for mass
clown
production.
world.
the mass production of meat.
Do we live in Clown World?
Yes.
I think we do.
Oh,
Well, it depends on what clown world you're talking about. There's some clown worlds that you don't want to be associated with, and some that are valid.
oh yeah, like you don't want to go to like Insane Clown Posse Clown World.
I'd rather be living there than this one.
No, I'm saying there's a pretty racist Clown World meme that you don't want to.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you think the Joker was here in this
No.
Clown World?
No, this is not that kind of
No.
Clown World.
No, it seemed too orderly for the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed too orderly for
This
clowns in general, didn't it?
this world could have potentially generated the platonic ideal of a clown, and thus, in that way, the Joker was eventually connected with this planet.
Are you saying that the
through-
Joker is formed out of like meat,
Well, I mean, he is a human.
It's
like
flesh
like
and
out of like
blood.
ground meat made of like dogs?
I mean, in some way, I mean, like
What are they-
we're Stardust, right? I mean,
Yes. I mean, yes, the meat is
But
sort
again-
of like Stardust.
this brings us back to the metaphysical question of this fucking vagina simulator and like what is corporeal and what is not, and I give up.
Yeah, he has a conversation with these two people about like spirituality and stuff, and then they get eaten by maggots, and he leaves, and the planet blows up.
Yeah, they end the whole thing by just all agreeing that Christ is the way or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point, they become Super Meat Boy, and then they.
Oh yeah, the lady talks about going to this Hindu guru and asking for
Yeah.
meditation advice.
That's when the guy shows up. He asked that. That's the first thing he says, and I'm like, when this guy show up?
That the guy they talk about is actually on a later episode. I checked.
Huh.
So,
You mean Jesus?
yeah, no, Ram Dass, the guy they talk about.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Which apparently he died last year. But
Rest in peace to those who have died.
did you know that you when you die when you are killed?
What?
What?
It's a little it's a little deep cut for those Fate fans out there.
Shut the fuck up.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it for these two episodes. Again, this is, I think, easily the weirdest thing we've watched on the show. So, really, Elle, you've done a twofer. You're the first female guest on the show, and you're the first. You get to watch
Biggest
the weirdest.
weirdo.
You get to watch the biggest weird show we've watched.
Yeah, I voted for it. I thought, hey, this
Yeah.
looks fun.
Because we had the option of watching Black as Fuck, and Elle said, quote unquote, she does not want to watch a show about those people.
I unequivocally did not say that. I said, in fact, quite the opposite, that I felt like I was unqualified to speak on black issues, and therefore would prefer to watch this cracker show instead.
Stair would have.
Cracker
Stair,
show.
of course, has no issues talking about black people.
And then Stair decided that he was going to
See the
question.
kids be stealing the pound cake, and the fat's dripping to their ankles. Think of your family.
Stair decided that he was qualified to question whether or not I had the qualifications to talk about this.
Well, of course, as we know, Kieran, you're Italian.
No. Yes.
Yeah, he said that I'm
Famously.
half Italian, which is not the case. It has never been the case.
Yeah, Kyo's
Yeah,
like
you're
a third
full blood.
Italian.
Keo is full blooded Italian. He comes in here, he calls everyone mangi cake, and he
And I
talks
call,
about
Gabagool.
gabagool.
yeah, I call you guys gabagool,
Yeah.
and I eat a big sandwich.
And then
And
you
whenever
watch
we
the,
insinuate-
you watch
Is that
the
what-
Ducks
is that
or
what-
whatever the fuck Tony Soprano does.
And whenever we insinuate that Kyo's homosexual, he's like, "Hey, whoa! I'm with the union."
Hey, you calling me gay? Me? You calling me gay? Hey,
Why don't you
Yeah.
suck on this?
hey, ask your mother if I'm gay. Hey.
Yeah, but I'm
gabagool.
I'm fully qualified to talk about black issues. I'm a member of the official black community.
Wow,
Black
Keo.
Israelites.
10 times Keo's played the race card.
Okay, let's. So, final thoughts?
So, yeah, tune in, tune out.
Okay.
Elle, you're the guest. Let's have you go first.
My verdict is Midnight Gospel is kind of cute, kind of funny, tune out. I might actually watch more episodes just out of curiosity, but yeah, it just doesn't have the cohesion I'm looking for, and like I feel like you have to have the right mindset going into this,
So
and
you mean
maybe
being
the
on
right
weed?
drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought
So-
episode 1 was, it's kind of amusing, kind of fun. Episode 2, it started quickly losing my attention with this podcast that was going on that I wouldn't. Once again, like I said, I would never listen to this podcast.
The boomer mythos.
Yeah.
Old people origins.
Was that? Is that a tune-out, Kyo?
Yeah, that's a tune out, but I could like tepidly recommend the first episode, but in general, this is a tune out.
Someone who's got the weed brain, I gotta say, tune in.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
yeah. This is not a show you should watch sober, but I mean,
I'm a little torn. The visuals are very fun. If you're not listening to the conversation, it's a very good show. Unfortunately, that is not the show. The show is also the conversation, and the conversation is just not anything I want to listen to. Like,
Yeah.
even if I wanted to listen to something like this, I would just go listen to Joe Rogan. So yeah, that's a tune out for this. I like Pendleton Ward. I appreciate the animation in this. Don't care about the conversations.
Well, that's a unanimous tune out, huh?
Well,
Not unanimous.
No,
well,
unanimous.
I guess we know who the new co-host is.
God.
Who's losing the co-host spot now.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
Ster.
Mr. Ganja over here. Mr. Reefer Brain.
Yeah, time for you to go into the butthole simulator or whatever you thought it was.
oh no, I'm going to Podcast Earth, where everything is.
And somehow I'm not the one who died, even though I got shot.
Well, you are dying.
No,
That's previously established.
nah, I'm good.
I'll shoot him.
What?
All right.
No! Put the gun down! No!
Good work.
Well, that's
Took care of him. I guess Stare, your host status is reinstated because with TV tuners, I was informed about there's a rule of 3. Like
Yes.
with the Sith, there's like a rule of 2.
Yes,
yeah,
we
much
have-
like the Sith. We're actually, to show that we're better than the Sith, we have an extra. So we have the rule of 3. Also because it's funny. We're funny people.
allegedly.
And comedy is always about rule of 3. Anyway, that's a tune out on the Midnight Gospel. But that's a tune in on the podcast.
Yes. Also, check out L's music.
Yeah.
Oh, you make music.
I do. I wasn't planning on plugging it, but
Oh, that's why you're a DJ.
I appreciate it. My name is Post Blank Void, so go to postblankvoid.bandcamp.com. Once again, I am at DJ90s Hentai on Twitter. I post about a lot of different things, and one of those things will probably offend your sensibilities, but not in like a weird Nazi way.
Great.
It
love to
ranges-
see it.
Yeah, it ranges from hentai to guns to loneliness.
I have not actually seen any hentai on your timeline lately.
What about
Or
guns?
ever. Lots of guns.
Yeah, and that's about it for this week's episode of the show. We'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I found him.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster is Elle's friend?
Whoa!
That's right.
I didn't even know that.